Coming to you live from our studios here in Kokomimle and across Ghana's 16 regions and around the world at myjoyonline.com. You're welcome to Joy News today with me, Sweetie Abochi. Coming up, Speaker of Parliament to decide fate of 4 members of Parliament whose seats are in contention. We will be live in Parliament for the latest on this. Also coming up, VRA Senior Staff petition Parliament over bills proposing to merge VRA and BUI Power Authority.
They have to withdraw those bills. As we speak, we have been in the Parliament House for 2 consecutive days, and nothing of that sort has been brought to the floor of Parliament that they are withdrawing that bill.
And later, 20-year-old allegedly confesses to beheading younger brother near Kwamu in the Ashanti region. There's business news, sports, and world news all in this 1-hour package. We're also live on DSTV, channel 421 and GoTV channel 125. My name is Sweetie Abochi. Please stay for details. In our first story, Speaker of Parliament Alban Bagbin is set to give his ruling on 4 members of Parliament whose seats are in contention. These 4 MPs, 3 from the governing New Patriotic Party and 1 from the opposition National Democratic Congress, are contesting the 2024 Parliament elections as independent candidates after losing their respective primaries. The motion was first filed by former Minority Leader Haruna Idrisu and has been contested by current Majority Leader Alexander Apenyomakin. We will be in Parliament for this updates shortly. But first, let's hear from Dr. Dixon Adomakukisi. He's MP for Anyaso. Thank you so much for joining.
It's okay, Professor of Political Science and also a lawyer. And so obviously he's speaking to law. But the interesting thing is that he's using the case that he's superintendent over to make his judgment here. And that is just one case. And it is not enough to be used as a convention, as the practice. It is not enough. When it happens like that, I think you want to look at the Constitution itself, what it says, the spirit that is behind what has been established in the Constitution.
My argument is that, in principle, this thing works if the declaration to go independent or to cross carpet applies to this 8th Parliament. I'm of the opinion that during the 8th Parliament, if a member out of any reason decides to abrogate his contract with the party and goes independent, or decides to join another party during the 8th Parliament, then I'm of the opinion that he is to be deemed literally vacant. I mean, the seat has to be deemed vacant and then go through the whole process for this 8th Parliament.
A decision by a previous Speaker of Parliament, by our practice and by the practice of Parliament globally, is not binding on a current Speaker of Parliament. So if Professor Michael Quay may have made a ruling in the past, that ruling may not be binding on the current Speaker. That is by our practice in Parliament. That point also has to be made. Now, in respect of Article 927(1)(g) of the Constitution, what does it say? It says a member of Parliament shall vacate his seat in Parliament if he leaves the party of which he was a member at the time of his election to Parliament to join another party or seeks to remain in Parliament as an independent member. Now, this border on interpretation.
You heard there Dr. Dixon Adumakukwisi, his MP for Nyasotum, and also Ras Mumbarak, a former member of parliament for Kumbugu, and Dr. Amachi Boateng, a political scientist at Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology. And they all spoke on News Desk earlier. But still in Parliament, senior staff of the Volta River Authority have petitioned Parliament to demand the immediate withdrawal of some bills seeking to merge VRA and BUI Power Authority. The staff say the proposed merger is just a ploy to sell off VRA and BUI assets to private interests, and they're demanding that the bills are withdrawn entirely from Parliament, despite the fact that they are yet to be laid. Theophilus Tete-Ahia is chairman of the VRA Senior Staff Association.
Premises. And in that meeting, he agreed that he is coming to withdraw the bills because the points that we have adduced in our petitions are so cogent that he realized that they have to withdraw those bills. As we speak, we have been in the Parliament House for 2 consecutive days, and nothing of that sort has been brought to the floor of Parliament that they are withdrawing that bill. That tells us that, well, we don't know whether we can say that we do not trust the minister, but we hope that he will do the needful to withdraw those bills because they are not to serve the purpose and also to save Ghanaians from the current situation in which we are. Look, ECG's bill is billed by the IPPs in dollars. ECG sell the power to Ghanaians in cedis. So ECG's problem currently, as you are aware, the paper PURC wrote to the government on ECG almost nearing bankruptcy, is because we are having a lot of foreign exchange losses. And that is what is impacting. The problem is how do we resolve this problem? And it is not about selling VRA assets. If we finish selling, what we mean is that 75% of our energy demand in this country will be in the hands of private people. And what will be the result? Whenever they get up that we are fed up, you are owing us, they will shut down just like Azogre has done. And we are saying that the good people of this country must listen to us. They should support us to resist this measure, which is intended to sell the asset of VRA. Let me also say that the Volta River Authority is so efficient, it's well managed. It is 63 years old. VRA is one of the best hydro generating plants in the world. Out of 350 hydro generation plants in the world, VRA is ranked 3rd. And that tells you the professionalism that we've used to manage. So what is the reason that they want? Secondly, BUI is also doing very well. Records at SIGA shows that for the past 3 years, BUI is making profit. They are even breaking new frontiers. They are building more renewable plants. We are saying that allow BUI also to develop in that line so that they bring the needed competition into the industry.
I'll take you to Parliament shortly, where Kweku Asante is standing by to bring us details. But first, let's get into our election headquarters, because the Electoral Commission says it will announce new results of the 2024 presidential elections in each of these 16 regional coalition centers before the final result is declared. Now, speaking at the launch of CODEO's 2024 Election Day observation and post-election activities, the Commission's Deputy Chairman in charge of Corporate Services, Dr. Bosman Asari, said all political parties have already agreed to this new format. He added that this approach is to ensure transparency and allow voters to follow the results region by region, ensuring that the counting process, is visible at all stages. Now, let's speak to Kenneth JC to put this in perspective. Kenneth, it's good to speak to you. Tell us more about this new format that the EC is proposing.
Just shift from the normal format we are used to knowing, where the presidential election is declared once, that is at the Electoral Commission's headquarters, where all the results are tabulated and sent to the EC's headquarters and declared once. But this time they said, no, that's not how they want to do it. That's not how they're going to do it. And they're going to do it is that the results from all the coalition centers, from all the polling stations, will be sent to the constituency and then be forwarded to the regions. And when it gets to the regions, what they're going to do is that they're going to tabulate the results of the presidential votes and then declare them that in this region, this person, candidate A or candidate B, had this amount of votes, this candidate had that amount of votes. And that, according to them, is to, keep people abreast with issues, which person, which candidate is winning which region, which candidate is trailing in which region. That is to help them keep up, to help voters who will be at home monitoring the results, keep up with how far the votes have been counted.
Kenen, how are the people receiving this new format or the announcement of it?
Well, it appears that it is just being made public, but the Deputy EC Chair, Bosman Asare, did indicate that all the political parties have been informed of this and that they have agreed to this format. So they've not so far reacted to this thing, which is being made public for the first time, but it appears that they are all in unison and they've agreed to this format.
Thank you so much, Kenneth JC, bringing us updates from the launch of Kodeo's 2024 Election Day observation and post-election activities. Moving on, presidential candidate of the opposition National Democratic Congress, John Dramani Mahama, is set for a two-day tour of the Greater Accra region, starting with the Ningo Pram constituency as his first point of call. He's expected to engage in community engagement programs, interact with key stakeholders in various communities, and hold discussions with players in both the formal and informal sectors. Maxwell Agbagba joins us with more on this. Maxwell, what can you report?
Well, the NDC presidential candidate is expected to arrive here shortly, but from here he'll be heading to another constituency. In fact, from the Ningo Pram constituency, he'll be addressing a campaign derby at Pram. He would also hold a mini rally at Afienya, also in the Ningo Pram constituency. He will also hold a community engagement program at Bichile in the Kwon Kansamanso constituency. He would address a mini campaign rally again in the Kwon Katabanso constituency, and then hold meetings with stakeholders in the Tema industrial area. That's in the Tema Central constituency. He would then interact with tribal heads and religious leaders at the Community 7 Mosque, also in the Tema Central constituency, and then wrap up his first day with a community engagement at Tema Newtown in the Tema East constituency. Key among the things he's expected to touch on is the NDC's promise of the 24-hour economy, the establishment of the National Women's Development Bank, and also he's also expected to touch on roads, the issue of roads. They featured prominently in his visit to all the regions. He has been talking about how he does not see any progress of work being done on Ghana's road to upgrade Ghana's road. He says the NPP's claim of constructing 12,000 kilometers of road is not true because he does not see any evidence, of work done. And this has been one of the key things he's been talking about in all the places that he has visited. So we expected to equally touch on that amongst other issues.
And Maxwell, I know you are embedded in the Mahama campaign. Has he responded to the swipe that the president took on him on Galamsey yet? Has he said anything?
No, not yet. In fact, this will be his first public outing after that comment from the president. And so, sometimes during the campaign, he takes time to respond to trending national issues. So maybe it may come up later today or subsequently that this is going to be his first public outing after his campaign tour in the Upper West region. So we wait to see whether he will comment on that or not.
Thank you so much, Maxwell Agbagba. But still on elections, President Akufo-Addo has taken a swipe at former President John Dramani Mahama as being the only president who ruled Ghana and left without a legacy to show. Now, speaking at an event at Nat Hall in Tamale with stakeholders, The president said while they will be remembered for the legacies mentioned, the NDC candidate John Dramani Mahama will always be remembered for Dumso.
3 regions tour starting from the northeast, the Savannah, and finally the northern region. His visit was to thank the chiefs and people of these regions for their support as his tenure of office comes to an end. In the northern region, the president paid courtesy calls on the Yana and the Yuna. He met with some other stakeholders. Speaking at the Nat Hall in Tamale, President Akufo-Addo said the country needs a president who would move Ghana forward.
When you mention the name of J.J. Rowling, district assemblies come to mind. When you mention the name of John Ajakum Kufuor, National Health Insurance Scheme comes to mind. When you mention Nana Dankwa Akufo-Addo, free senior high school comes to mind. But when you mention John Mahama, Dumso, that's what we hear. We want someone who's going to take our country forward, not backward.
At the VRA Palace, the president praised the Yana and the Member of Parliament for the area for their support in the realization of the new Yendi city.
That has seen you preside over the reconciliation of Jabon and the restoration of the peace and stability of this great kingdom. And I want to congratulate you on the success of your reign as Yana of Dagbon. What has happened here in Dagbon is a great example to all the traditional institutions of our country, that people, when they work together, can get positive results. You will have an example of what a wise, sagacious, forward-looking chief can do for his people. Today, there is some sadness about my coming here to Yendi. The Constitution of our country, that I respect very much, says that no Ghanaian can occupy the office of president for more than 2 times. I need to step down in 3 months' time. It is right for me to go around and thank the people of Ghana. And that is why I'm here today, to come and say goodbye to you and the people of Dagbon. And I'm happy to say that it is in your time as Yana that Yendi became a new city. It's all a blessing for you.
The overlord of Dagbon, whose speech was read on his behalf by the chief of Zangbalana, Dr. Jacob Mahama, thanked the president for his role in restoring peace in Dagbon.
Now we can connect with Kweku Asante, our parliamentary affairs correspondent, who help us put some issues in perspective. Kweku, many thanks for joining us. There are 2 main issues we want to talk about. But first, let's start with the atmosphere in Parliament right now, with the Speaker's 48-hour window expiring. What's happening right now?
Well, Sweetie, it's a huge anticipation here in Parliament. There's a lot of concerns, a lot of interest in this ruling that the Speaker of Parliament says is going to deliver on these 4 MPs whose seats are being pursued by the minority. They are asking for those seats to be declared vacant, which will ultimately make them the majority in the House, and they will then begin to lead proceedings. Proceeding itself hasn't started, but that understanding we are getting that the Speaker of Parliament is getting ready to deliver this ruling on this all-important matter. He had asked for 2 days, 48 hours, like you mentioned. That was on Tuesday. The time is due, and we expect that any moment from now, when the House is gaveled into session, the Speaker of Parliament will come ahead and deliver the specifics of this. It hasn't started. Right here, there's an international conference on a bill that is being considered in the House going on. The Speaker of Parliament was expected to be here. He himself hasn't been here. He has asked somebody else to deliver that statement on his behalf, which tells you that that is being discussed and the Speaker of Parliament is perhaps working on his ruling. So, Sweetie, is huge anticipation on the floor of Parliament, what is happening at Accra International Conference Center, about whether or not the Speaker of Parliament will toe the line of the minority and declare these seats vacant, or he will ask for these seats to be maintained and these persons to actually continue to be members of Parliament.
Right.
I've been putting my ears on the ground. Some of the things I'm picking is that the Speaker of Parliament is likely to ask a committee to do some work. So he's likely going to ask a committee of Parliament existing or set up a special committee and ask them to go and investigate these matters. First off, confirm whether or not these persons have run for independent, what exactly does their respective party's constitution says, and consequent on their report coming to the speaker will then act on that. We expect that the Speaker of Parliament will give them a pretty short time to do this work. And so that is what we understand the Speaker may be leaning to, but no official confirmation yet. When the Speaker of Parliament takes his seat in the House, he will deliver his ruling, and then we will all, for the first time, get to know where he's leaning towards.
Well, now let's talk about that demand for the withdrawal of that bill to merge VRA and BUI Power Authority. What's happening there? We know the senior staff of VRA have they're making some demands. Tell us more.
Well, yes, the senior staff of the VRA have stormed Parliament. They are there wearing official clothes, some of them carrying red armbands and all that. They have always been against this bill. The government, during the last emergency sitting, sought to lay this bill that will make PURC and the PURC and Energy Commission, as well as the VRA and BUI Power Authority. They are in particular concerned about that bill seeking to merge VRA.
It appears we have some interruptions in our network connection with Kweku Asante, who was just telling us about the senior staff of VRA who are demanding that withdrawal from that bill that seeks to merge VRA and the BUI Power Authority. But let's do some other stories now. The Senior Staff Association of the Center for Scientific and Industrial Research is demanding a revision of their conditions of service. The group is arguing that many of its members are demoralized after hearing accounts of many retirees who receive paltry sums of payment as a lump sum from their pension benefits. Let's get more from Blessed Tugam, who joins us from the event live. Blessed, what more can you report?
Hello, Susie, can you hear me?
I think this is Kweku Asante. Kweku, thank you so much. That's all that time will allow us for, but we have moved on to other stories now. Do I have Blessed Soga online with me?
As I was saying earlier, this is just part of the fallouts from the 10th biennial conference of the CSIR senior staff. They're looking to address pension issues and also SNP challenges and to find out ways by which they could secure a better future for CSIR workers. And part of the demand is that they would want their conditions of service to be reviewed, looking at it through the context of addressing pension issues. The group argues that many of them, especially pensioners, have been left with very meager amounts in their lump sum. And so going forward, many are demoralized that they would want government to act swiftly on SNP reforms and also reforming pension policies that will favor them.
How meager is this lump sum?
Well, they would not readily disclose amounts involved, but the Public Sector Workers Union, which is the mother body they belong to, appears to have backed the calls they're making. The resolve that in the next 2 days they would dialogue on the way forward, resolve on how to address this issue and possibly put this before government. But in the coming days as well, we know that CSIR is part of the 45 state agencies that may be proceeding with a nationwide strike by Monday if government equally fails to address their single spine salary issues. So that's also featuring big on this 10th biennial conference of CSIR workers, and it's likely looking at judging from the statements of the Secretary of the Public Sector Workers that these people may proceed on strike by Monday, if nothing.
Thank you so much, Blessed Suga, for bringing us up to speed on that. Two other stories now. A 20-year-old man has allegedly killed his 8-year-old brother, Messiah Akomia, in a bush near Kwamo in the Ejiso municipality in the Ashanti region. After the gruesome act, Samuel Obeng returned home to inform his uncle about the murder. He claimed he was possessed by a spirit when he manipulated his brother to follow him to the remote location where he killed and tried to dispose of the body. The almost decapitated body of the boy has since been found and deposited at the mortuary. Here's more.
According to reports, the heartbreaking tragedy occurred on the afternoons of October 13, 2024, in a remote bush area about 45 minutes walk from the Kwamo township. Samuel Obeng allegedly led his younger brother Messiah into the bush, where he carried out the murder, first slitting his throat with a rusted kitchen knife, before finishing the horrific act with a cutlass. Samuel, in shock, dragged his brother's lifeless body into a nearby pond in the bush, seemingly in a disturbed attempt to dispose of the body. Following the murder, Samuel returned home, reporting the gruesome crime to his uncle, Akufo-Addo, who immediately rushed to the scene, only to find Messiah's lifeless body, blood-soaked and brutally mutilated. According to the uncle of the brothers, Samuel narrated that he had been influenced by hallucinations and voices in his head, which compelled him to kill his younger brother with the belief that he would be able to revive him afterwards. The uncle, Akufo-Addo, visibly shaken, recounted the distressing moments to the Joy News team. He kept saying, I have killed him, I have killed him. I know he smokes, and he suffocated his brother with his shirt, slit his throat, and attempted to chop off his head with the cutlass. He says it's a direction from a spirit. From that point, I knew he had mental issues. The two brothers are part of a family of 5 children, making the loss all the more painful for the surviving siblings and their devastated mother. Atakusia, the mother of the alleged murderer and victim, shares a tear as she clarifies that the brothers had a good relationship before the incident. She narrates that Samuel has a history of mental breakdowns.
Ena blebi je phone no se mame eye no kure na mete me ba me voice was say oh mata menyama dwinse me kuno.
My daughter called to tell me. I did not believe her until it was confirmed by someone, and I could hear my son saying he didn't mean to do it. I couldn't move for a second.
Abosom no so ya no mo kasegu na so mo ni di nkomo eye hunhumu eye ni su enya akodi abansem.
Clinton Yabwa joins us with updates on this. Clinton, many thanks for joining us. In fact, I'm visibly shaken just hearing your report. How are the people in the community taking this?
All right, so the Kwamo community is quite secluded and very quiet, considering where it is, and it's surrounded by bushes, including that from the Kwame Nkrumah University of Science and Technology's plantation. And you can barely find crowd in this community. That is to say that the people there are very, very few people. So everyone knows each other's house. And this devastation news have come as a shock to everybody. No one wants to speak to it because this is once in a lifetime, once in a very long time issue to happen.
Clinton, is this brother, are they getting him any medical attention, psychological attention?
Well, according to the conversation I had with the mother, the guy or the perpetrator in question had issues with the mind. So she had to take her to a hospital in Accra, which she did not specify. But she was very certain that in the last 3 months or 4 months, the son was okay and to be able to, live normally. And so this news come as, something that was not expected, because she was very much convinced that all medical attention has been given and all medical, solutions have been given to the son. Because in the last 3 months or 4, the son has not exhibited any signs that show that he would act brutally towards other people.
I haven't heard anything about the police yet. Are they involved at this point?
So yes, the perpetrator or the accused person was picked up on the very day that he committed the crime. And as we are speaking, the case is arraigned at the court, and a court hearing is expected to happen very soon. Yes, the police have been very much engaged in the issue, and by the conversations I have had, the family has been having conversations with the police as well.
Thank you so much, Clinton Yabwa, for bringing us up to speed on this rather tragic story. But let's move away and shake up the mood a bit. In National Science and Maths Quiz, Accra Girls Senior High School is back with a bang. After a 10-year absence from the National Science and Maths Quiz, the national stage, that is, they've surged ahead, overtaking the Brie girls at Notre Dame Girls Senior High School to secure a spot in the 1/8 stage of the 2024 competition. Now, in a nail-biting contest, the girls proved that their smarts have only gotten sharper with time. Here's Jacqueline Ansamayebwa with the latest from Cape Coast.
Well, hello there. Good afternoon. We're coming to you live from Cape Coast, and it's the last day of the preliminary stage of the National Science and Maths Quiz. It's been exciting today. The first contest saw an all-girls school battle it out to move to the next stage, which was Accra Girls Senior High School, Notre Dame Girls Senior High School, and a Brie Girls Senior High School. But unfortunately, a Brie Girls Senior High School couldn't make it, same as Notre Dame Senior High School. But then Accra Girls Senior High School, after 10 solid years, finally made it to the 1A stage. For 10 years, they haven't been to the national contest. And we have other contests that transpired earlier today. Now, the other one was TI Amas Kumase, and so far their score, which is 71 points, seems to be the highest for the day. And they were in that contest with Amenfiman Senior High School, who had 40 points, and Tiobodom SHTS, and they had 21 points. Now, when you go to CNC2, there was a contest between Yendi Senior High School, Tamale Science Senior High School, and Anlo Senior High School, with Anlo Senior High School leading that contest with 69 points. So far today it has been Anlo 69 and TI Amas with 71. Accra Girls, they won that contest with 39 points. Currently, I'm at the School of Graduate Studies. That is one of the auditoriums for the contest for the preliminary stages. And the contest that is ongoing now is a contest between Suhum Senior High School, St. Joseph Seminary, and Brekum Esikuma Senior High School. But I have some students from Breman Esikuma Senior High School here with me, and we want to find out more from them. Guys, kindly join me here. Okay, we have more. All right, so now, Breman, you were meeting St. James Seminary School in Suhum. How are you guys feeling? In fact, the contest has already started. They're about to finish with the first round. How do you feel right now?
Oh, for right now, we know starting the contest, it hasn't been easy. And then our boys are doing very, very good over there. So we are just hoping for the best at the end of the contest.
Okay, so at the end of do you think you are sailing through and moving on to the next stage?
That's a surety, we are sailing through.
Okay, all right. What do you also have to say about that?
Yeah, what he said is on point. Our boys are doing very, very well up there, and we know with God we're going to sail through. Yes. All
right, Breman Esikuma, do you hear what your brothers are saying?
Yes.
Yeah. So you are sailing on through the next stage. You are moving to the 1A stage.
Yes.
Are you sure? Come forward. Are you sure? Yes. Just move forward. But then, would like to hear your school anthem. Are we ready?
Yes.
I need more energy from you. So let me count you down. 3, 2, 1. Let's go.
Mezema wazembo so meza bwa so yebine bekechi enti yebina pezimpo zimpa sina unya na uto yesina unyo mezema kumana majini na beye juma mezema wazembo so meza bwa so yebine bekechi enti yebina pezimpo zimpa sina unya na uto yesina unyo Prona yebio ona prona yebio yebi bwa bas prona yebio onya prona pezimpo zimpo zimpa sina unya na uto yesina unyo
I think I stand in solidarity with them in colors. But the 2024 National Science and Math Quiz is produced by Primetime Limited and sponsored by the Ghana Education Service in partnership with GOIL PLC and supported by Pepsodent, Dupay and Prudential Life Insurance Ghana. But the broadcast of the 2024 National Science and Math Quiz on the Joy News channel is supported by NASCO, Vitamilk, Virtual Security Africa, Ace Medical Insurance, Built Financial Technologies, DBS Roofing, Syntex Tanks, Family Health Medical School, Chopbox Technologies, and Action Secondary Technical, Multimedia Institute of Ghana, DPS Pipes, and Wakana. On that note, let's take a quick break and we'll return with business news anchored by Winston Taki.
Welcome back to Business on Joy News. Today, my name is Winston Taki, and now to our first business story. Deputy Head of Programs of Sustainable Development through Agribusiness at GIZ, Bashiru Hussaini, has committed to supporting women in the agricultural sector to improve on yields and general agricultural sector production. According to him, the impact of the recent dry spell in the country cannot be underestimated, hence the need to support all players, including women, in the activities aimed at ensuring food security. He was speaking at the International Day of Rural Women celebration in Accra.
The International Day of Rural Women is celebrated annually to recognize the essential contributions of rural women in agriculture, food security, and rural development. It highlights the vital role they play in food production, from farming to processing and distribution, while also addressing the unique challenges women face, such as limited access to resources and technology. Speaking at this year's celebration, Deputy Head of Programs of Sustainable Development through Agribusiness at GIZ, Bashiru Hussaini, said women contribute immensely to general agricultural production in the country, hence the need for increased support to cushion them.
Here not to only celebrate your hard work, but also your role in ensuring sustainable food production, security, nutrition for the communities in both rural and urban areas. This year marks the third time that Agribusiness program is supporting the Development Action Association to celebrate this important day. 1. Agribusiness is deeply committed to improving conditions that create sustainable employment in the agriculture sector, particularly for the women. This is a testament to our dedication to empowering rural women and ensuring that their contributions are recognized and supported.
Executive Director of Development Action Association, Lydia Sasu, outlined the impact of Galamsey activities on their yields.
Looking at the crops too, we've realized that the water it has been polluted because of Galamsey, and the youth are making noise that they don't have land. The land has been a problem. I asked them to go around. Some of them are even taking the topsoil. Some of the areas, some of the region, they take the soil. Before you go to your farm, the subsoil is gone. And you are left with your cassava standing 1-1. Then they will call. So these are some of the things that they have to take care and then listen to us. Some areas, they were not planting yam. Now look at the types of yam that we have just around Eastern region here. Esuboy, we put them to CSIR. And for the past 6-7 years, they are planting cassava and producing and selling, which means that whatever we learn and we put it into practice, we can also help.
The International Day of Rural Women, which was themed Rural Women Cultivating Good Food for All, provided an opportunity for collaboration between rural women, government officials, and stakeholders, ensuring the adoption of technologies and policies.
It's Throwback Thursday, and today we are flipping back to a sizzling era of how businesses operate across the country. Addressing a pressing issue in Ghanaian passenger and driver safety within the ride-hailing industry. The campaign will educate the public on the use of effective safety measures introduced by Bolt as a form of reassurance to its riders. Speaking to journalists after the launch, Senior Operations Manager for Bolt Ghana, Henry White, stressed the importance of bringing the insurance package as part of its safety measures.
Before we introduced this, we saw a lot of accidents happening, right, where we had riders or drivers getting injured in the process, and their concern was that what is both doing for us. I was on a trip, maybe your driver drove recklessly, or your rider distracted me, I got into an accident. What are you doing for me as a customer, right? So this informed our decision to introduce, to partner with Star Insurance, and then introduce this insurance policy, right, to basically give also that level of assurance and safety and security actually to our drivers and riders that, you know what, once you take a trip on board, you are covered, right?
He also highlighted the need for such a campaign.
We've had concerns, in the past about safety. So this is the time for us as a company to also reassure our customers, which is our drivers and riders, about our safety on the app by introducing these safety features to give them that level of assurance, that extra layers of safety.
That was both advising riders to take advantage of the insurance feature on their app. That'll be all for business here on Joy News today. My name is Winston Taki. We'll be back with sports and more after this break. Stay tuned.
Time now to bring you sports here on Joy News today with me, Muftau Nabila Abdullahi. Magdan Group is one of the companies that have signed up for this year's Joy Sports Invitational. That will be happening at the University of Ghana Stadium on October 26. They say their target here is to win as many trophies on the table as possible. My colleague Lexis Bill paid them a visit in their offices on Wednesday.
It looks like the Team Spirit Award might be gone already. Team Magdan, are you ready? Team Magdan, are you ready? The energy in here is infectious and these guys wouldn't even stop. Are you ready for the Joy Sports Invitational? Look. Let me get our CFO, our group CFO here with me, Ferdinand Boache. Where's Ferdinand? Is he here? Ferdinand, man. Oh, make some noise, make some noise, make some noise. Yeah. Look, I can tell that the team is hyped and ready for the Joy Sports Invitational. Are you?
We are more than ready. In fact, our readiness is as big as the size of the concession in Adan.
And I know you're coming with the whole group from Electrocam to Q3 to Magdan Shipping. Tell me more.
We are bringing Ocean Now Terminal. We have the likes of Justice. We have the likes of Ishmael. We are bringing Magdan Aviation. You see, the size of Magdan Aviation, if you care to know, in terms of revenue, in terms of everything else, you have no idea. So we are bringing the whole team from Magdan Aviation. This is the first time you will be seeing pilots. Hey. Wow. You see, our pilots. You have no idea what you have bargained for. We are more than ready for you people.
There you go. October 26th, it's happening live at the University of Ghana Stadium. I know the Magdan AstroTurf is just across from here, and that's what you've been training. Is that where you've been training?
We have even been doing more than training. You see the place they are clearing here. It is going to be finished in time so that we can even do all the other sporting activities over here.
Oh, wow.
Yes, our team captain is here, Niklote.
Seriously taking this tournament serious. And we are not joking. We are coming for this. Mind you, we are coming. Magdan, we are coming.
That's right. And I know that the ladies are not left out. I saw Linda in the back. Make some noise for Linda and Sandra. Linda, why are you holding a spoon?
We are ready for the lime and spoon.
Hey, so you're already rehearsing with a spoon
already.
The window is still open for you to sign up for the Joy Sports Invitational, and you can head to myjoyonline.com, go on the My Joy Online Sports page, and you can get a form and download, or contact this very number, 054-9126-905, and we'll take you through the processes to register. Up next is World News.
From sports now, let's do world news on Joy News today. Kenya's Senate is set to vote on whether to remove its deputy president from office at the end of the second day of his impeachment trial. The deputy president is on Thursday defending himself before the lawmakers in the upper house of parliament, 2/3 of whom are required to oust him. He faces 11 charges, including corruption, inciting ethnic divisions, and undermining government. As the trial began on Wednesday yesterday, the deputy president pleaded not guilty to each of the charges as they were read out in the House. An overwhelming majority of MPs in the National Assembly last week voted to approve his impeachment, setting the stage for the Senate trial. That's it for World News. Still to come is Showbiz, coming up shortly. And this is the Showbiz segment. Let's get right into it. Pop star Liam Payne, who rose to fame on the X Factor in 2010, has died after falling from the 3rd floor of a hotel in Argentina, according to police reports. Liam was one of the 5 members of One Direction, alongside Zayn Malik, Louise Tomlinson, Niall Horan, and Harry Styles. There is more. And on that beautiful report read by Esan Kroma, we're wrapping up for JN today. Thank you so much for staying with us. But for more news, log on to myjoyonline.com and get the latest updates on all stories in and around the country. Many thanks for your time, but do stay for Marketplace coming up next.